Welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Superman Comics number 136, published in April 1960 with story by Robert Bernstein and art by Wayne Boring. I've come to take you to the 23rd century, dear Lois. Future history says that I will marry you and that we will be very happy. Superman, will I be the wife of that creature? Yes, Lois, even I can't change destiny. For years, Lois has hoped to become Superman's bride, but has hoped in vain. Again and again, she has refused all other offers of marriage, turning down all kinds of men, rich, powerful, handsome men. Really? Because of her loyal love for the Man of Steel. But one day, fate decides who her husband will be. Destiny does not give her the choice of refusing or accepting a suitor. The matter has already been decided in the future. Yes, readers, today is Lois's wedding day, the day you will meet X-Plam, the man who married Lois Lane. This is a wild one. I think we're going to have some fun. Uh, Lois says, imagine by nightfall, Superman will have scooped out that mountain to make a gigantic power dam. Sigh. Really, Clark, by comparison, you and I are such little people. So he's doing his usual super feats. Takes a train and reshapes it into a scoop. But all of a sudden, Superman, look, something is coming at us. A disc like object is materializing from the moving haze. Gasp. It must be something from another world. So this being arrives. Naturally, Superman, I come as a friend, and not from another world, from the future, from the 24th century. I even speak your language. But why have you come here? So he says that his name is X-Plam, and he's come because they're destined to be married. He even shows them a newspaper. That was before you met me. Today is April 6, 1960. Here is tomorrow's Daily Planet. It's 400 years old. Measuring by our time, I borrowed it from our library. So he figured out that he's to marry Lois Lane based on this newspaper, which makes no sense. So how do, okay, hopefully all of you can figure out why that makes absolutely no sense. But if you're from the 23rd century, why do you look like an alien being? So he explains that in 2185, a comet passed over the valley in which he lived, and its tail contained a strange gas which filled every corner of the valley. The gas had a shocking effect. It gave us superpowers, super speed, super strength, and the power to fly. But it also gave them this alien type appearance. So you can see them all doing their super feats. But they're not invulnerable. Ever since we sealed our valley off from the rest of the world, our colony of people will never left the valley for fear we'd be regarded as freaks. Well, that's a shame. Even in the 23rd century, people are very shallow. But all of a sudden, good gracious, he's become the handsomest man I ever saw. He looks like a Greek god. What happened? Maybe his journey into our atmosphere affected the molecules of his body and changed him back into human form. So he still has his superpowers, and he speculates that, like a chameleon, he has changed appearance, yet his powers remain the same. And so Superman just kind of accepts it. He's seen the newspaper and agrees it's real. Well, that's it, Lois. No need for me to hang around. The X-Plam's got superpowers. He loves you. He'll make a wonderful husband. Good luck. No, Superman, don't. He's gone. No, actually, he's right there. He's left me to X-Plam. Maybe he's glad X-Plam came along. Maybe I'm lucky at that. Superman would never have married me. I'd have remained an old maid. So he brings along a lump of coal and does the old squeezing it into a diamond trick, and then um, he even polishes it up, gives it some facets. I remember the time Power Man, king of outer space, proposed to me, and Mr. Mxyzptlk, the imp from the fifth dimension, and even Bizarro. They all wanted to marry me. Please, Lois, I'll make you the queen of the outer universe. Say yes, Lois, and I'll be the happiest imp in the fifth dimension. Me wish to worship you forever, dear Lois. So she says, okay, we'll get married. Um, I'm not invulnerable like Superman, but if you married Superman, you die in your old age, and he'd live on and on. This way we can grow together. I never thought of it that way. I guess I will be happier married to her. Okay, so, I mean, there's been a suspicion that maybe Superman was immortal, or at least very slow in aging, but this one claims that he will never die. Um, It's only fair to warn you, Lois, on his return to the future, X-Plan may once again become what you call a creature. But she doesn't think so. She doubts it. So they get married at the Justice of the Peace. Superman's taking my marriage so unemotionally. I guess he never really cared. Goodbye, Superman. Remember, tell Clark to file the story about my wedding. I want to have the scoop. So that newspaper that they showed was from the Daily Planet, and Superman didn't notice that it was written by Clark Kent. So okay. So they're in the future, and okay. Well, back in the present, he says, "That's right, Perry. Today, in a little New Mexico town, Lois became Mrs. X-Plam. Flash the story to the world." So, in the future, gasp! It's amazing. People are flying through the air with rockets attached to their backs. He said that they can fly with their own power. Also, he will be flying soon. This is the so there's a big plot hole. It won't matter, but so his parents are there. "Welcome back, X-Plan, my son. Gosh, X-Plan, we thought the bride you were bringing back from 1960 looked like the people in the outside world, but she looks just like us. And she has changed into the appearance of the people in the valley. Your face, your body, you've changed back. Superman warned me this might happen." So now they both look, and she's distraught. No, I must see myself in a mirror. You know, I don't know. This happens a lot in Silver Age stories, but it's kind of rude. It's like if something happened to your physical appearance that made it less pleasant, it would be kind if people just accepted it. But here, always in these stories, they're very fixated on physical appearance. "It's true, I've changed into an alien. I can't bear to look at myself." Sob. Why did I ever leave 1960s? So she's able to, or he can look in on Superman wherever Superman's at, which seems very invasive. And she sees him looking at pictures of her, which he has a bunch. What a fool I am. I thought I could make her forget Superman, but there she is looking at him adoringly. Now Superman's gazing at me, my statue. Sob. That's how I used to look, but I must accept my fate. I can't let X-Plan down, even if it kills me to be his wife. She'll never be happy here, recoiling from me and hating her own face. She might get used to it. So he flies out. "Dad, the radioactive fuel that powers the time machine is exhausted. I'm going out to get some more." "No, X-Plan, you mustn't. You've already overexposed yourself to its radioactivity. Another dose will be fatal. Remember, you may have super strength, but you're not invulnerable." So he flies under the water to get some more radioactive material. Okay, a few more problems. Number one, is he the only one with a time machine? Is that his own personal time machine? And number two, did they forget hazmat suits in the future? "The fuel's in place. I've pushed the starter button. Don't touch me, Lois, or you'll die quickly." "But X-Plan." "Farewell, Lois. Don't grieve about me. I don't mind dying." Gasp. "I'm glad I could do something." It's kind of cruel to kill him, but I guess that's the only way that Robert Bernstein could figure out to end the marriage officially. Yeah, a hazmat suit would have prevented this. So she goes back in time, but she pushes the lever wrong, and now she's just hurtling back to the beginning of time. But Superman's there. "Thank goodness I was on patrol and spotted the runaway time machine, or Lois would be lost forever in the past. Superman saved me, but he mustn't see me looking like this." Sob. "Now you know everything. X-Plan died to let me return, but I can't face people looking like a freak." So she's a little upset that X-Plan died, but she's more upset that she looks different. "I'm sure your normal appearance will soon return in this atmosphere, but not her powers. Funny, though. Tomorrow, her powers will disappear. History will record your marriage. It's too bad X-Plan never read the next edition, which reported how you became a widow." "You were right, Superman. I became myself overnight. But tell me, did you miss me while I was away?" "Well, I was too busy. I know better now. He did miss me. So there's a hope for me in the near future." And she gives a wink to the reader. This story has a lot of problems, but I'll tell you what, I kind of liked it, even with all the issues. So that was Lois's first husband.